Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to the second episode of the AUSNZ Community Podcast. Well, what a crazy couple of weeks it has been since our premiere episode. A huge thank you, guys, to all the comments and messages we have received from our first episode. It has been simply incredible. What a response by the HRC2 community, and I can't thank you guys enough for listening in. We have taken all the advice and suggestions on board, and hopefully, this episode you'll enjoy just as much as the first one 2 weeks ago. Yes, and as you can hear, we've turned down the bloody music. Right, let's get into it. Lots to cover. So, I want to welcome our co hosts to the podcast. Welcome, Pete, Eva, Alpha. Welcome, gents. How are we all, and how are we going after our first airing of the episode 2 weeks ago? Start off with you, Pete, mate. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, JTR. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, as you said. It's really blown out of the water a lot more than we thought. I don't know how many views it had, but within the first 48 hours of being online, it was at 200. So that's pretty crazy stuff.
It's quite incredible, mate, to think about, just a local little community like us creating a podcast to where it's reached right around the world. Eva, welcome to the podcast, mate. You want to chime in on what your thoughts about that as well?
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for having us back. Yeah, it reached quite quickly across the world. I had Tessa message me specifically and talk about it. We had a little two-way conversation for probably about an hour just on text over Discord. It was great to hear from her again and all that sort of stuff. She was really impressed. Yeah, like I said, it's reached out. It's gotten to people that I didn't think it would to, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. And I'm hoping that we can go onwards and upwards from here.
Absolutely, mate. Just having a look now at the stats, 544 views as of today. So, I really didn't expect it even to make it to 100 views, to be honest. But to get over 500 views in our first episode, can't thank you guys enough. Alpha, welcome to the podcast, young champion. Glad to have you here.
Yep. Hello, GTR. And adding on to what Pete said, I've had a few congratulations on how well the podcast is run on the VerseTrack server. Mainly some of the more active people like Combo Pro and PR Parrot that you'd know if you're active on there. They seem to all really enjoy it and wanted some more of it. And we had a whole heap of people join the server because of it as well.
Absolutely. I'm just going to thank a few people after our little introduction here. But yeah, as you said, in the VerseTrack server, we got some mentions there. Got some mentions in the Fair Play server, of course, and of course in the Adventure server as well. So we'll get to a few people I want to thank as well. No, incredible response. It's just going to grow and get bigger and better from here, I guess, won't it?
Absolutely.
That's right.
I mean it.
Who was that?
Will you just calm down there? Oh, geez, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And that's our mate Brobot who's just chiming in there. Get back in your corner, will you, and stop it. Just stop it.
I'll have to talk to Murray.
Will you stop it and just go away and just get down in your corner? Sorry about that, guys. We'll have to sort him out later. But anyway, just getting back onto everything, I just want to thank people. Just before we get into the next segment, so I just really want to take this opportunity to thank some players and communities for their support and praise from episode 1. A special thank you, first of all, to our producers, Muzz and Maury. Without you guys, working crazily behind the scenes as our producers, it would not be where we are today. And your time and dedication is so valuable to the show. So thank you very much, guys. To everybody in the AUSNZ community, from the Chiefs, team leaders, members, and community guests, a huge thank you for your support, positive feedback from the last fortnight. Fortunately, it's just too many names to mention. You know who you are. We'll get to you soon. And just a little plug for our Discord. If anyone wants to join our Discord,
there will be a link on the bottom of the video when we post it.
Yes. And there's also a link in our YouTube description as well for that. Just quickly, a special thanks to AYM and the Fair Play mods, part of the team that I work for in the Fair Play server. Thanks for your advice and encouragement, guys. To our Chaos mates who have all joined the server, making new friends in the community. You guys are absolutely awesome, and it's wonderful getting to know you all. A couple of special mentions to Zorro, Daspo, Bugsy, Bugs Bunny, of course, our little champion from the US, and DA, and of course, Altila, for giving our podcast a plug in their respected servers. It's really greatly appreciated, guys. Thanks very much for that. Lastly, to the guests we currently have in our server, you know who you are. A huge thank you to you and for your assistance, advice, and support from the last night. We will reveal you soon. Right now, let's get into it. We have a special guest coming up in our episode here. Of course, the one and only, aka Bob, which we will get to very shortly. But before that, Alpha, let's run through some stats and some records and some things that you've picked up over the last fortnight. Alfie's stats segment. Let's get into it.
I like stats. I want stats. Give stats.
What is? Can you just calm down there? Can you relax?
Let the guy speak, bro.
I've told you 100 times. Please just relax and just go away here at the moment. I mean, you can come back later, but for now, just go away. Anyway, sorry about that, Alfie. You know, you just gotta get him under control sometimes.
So, first bit of stats here. So, the new vehicle, the CCEV, for each basic upgrade like engine, grip, boost, and battery, in total it costs 1.048 million coins for the max it, and the first 5 upgrades can be done as free for each.
Yeah, the new vehicle, wow, just what's brought already to the game it's quite incredible. So
quite a good adventure vehicle, it seems.
Yeah.
Eric RR broke the Desert Valley all-vehicle world record with 81,000 meters, just pipping Jerry 11.
Hang on, wait, 81,000 meters. Now, are we sure that's a legit record?
Yeah.
That's legit. Wow. Mm-hmm. I'll have to have a look at that later.
Which track was that on?
Desert Valley Adventure.
Desert Valley Adventure. Wow. Okay. I was looking at Linus, the EV on forest level, but the what's it called? The other forest level.
Forest Trials.
Yeah, Forest Trials. Yeah, I was looking at that, and I think he still currently holds the record for that with the new EVs.
Yeah, I'll have a look right now.
Well, with the Forest, I've got a little baby CCEV. It's only upgraded to 15, and I managed to 10k the Forest first time with the new vehicle, and I'm not really much into the adventure maps. In fact, I only just got to Canyoneer, so yeah, I'm not really into that. But
I 10k'd mine with a 9999 EV.
Yeah.
And just have a 4JS. Yeah, it is.
That's amazing, Pete. To think, yeah, because I'm like yourself. I'm not much of an adventure player as well. I'm more into team events and time trials. But look, that's just absolutely incredible, to be honest. Amazing. Yeah, okay. So Alpha's just put up the record. So yeah, Eric RR in the new vehicle, 81,177 meters.
How long is that record to watch? If you want to watch it to make sure it's true.
I haven't watched it, so I couldn't tell you.
It would be 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 52 seconds.
It's too long to report.
Absolutely incredible. Wow.
You should say there's something right at the end, so they have to watch it.
I fell asleep watching it.
I thought bots didn't sleep.
Oh, jeez. I thought, yeah, exactly. I thought bots were 24/7, weren't they?
I need to rest sometime.
Can you just calm down there, mate, Bob, bro? We'll get to you in a second. You just calm down, mate. Right. And any more stats and records you want to go through, Alpha, at the moment?
So now to the time trial world record front. So probably the biggest news of the season is there's a new tactic being discovered on factory settings by RS Cynics with the Superbike, Wheelie Boost, Afterburner, and Turbo. The current world record time has gone into 10 seconds-ish and looks to be pretty optimized at the moment.
He's a time trial specialist, isn't he? He's incredibly talented. Yeah, what a player. All right, mate. Very, very good. What we want to do is we want to go through some segments each week, and basically let's have a little bit of a news section here. So we've got the AUSNZ news, and we got a little bit of world news, what's happening around the HCR2 community. Some big name players have just recently been permanently banned. With Rose YT banned by Fingersoft on 20th of this month. A huge big name by Bad at HCR was permanently banned by Fingersoft on the 22nd of this month, and Master HCR from Brazil was permanently banned on the 24th of this month. All reasons are unknown. All permanent bans have not been disclosed, so we don't know what has gone on with the bans, but Bad at HCR was a bit of a big scalp, and especially for Discord, it was a big. They've left a big hole there, so I think he'll be back, but that was a pretty big ban for news. The Fair Play server has confirmed all bans records have all been erased. Just going on the bans, there is word that a third-party application may be responsible, specifically for Android devices only. This is a rumor, of course, but I don't know if this is yet to be confirmed. But so some big news coming from all that. Lesson is here, guys. Do not use third-party applications. Only use genuine store applications from the official Hill Climb Racing 2 application. Otherwise, can't go wrong. Right, moving on. Next piece of news. Discord. Can anyone beat them? 42 points in his team, looking unstoppable at the moment. As we end Season 5 and we begin Season 6, that's the question everybody's asking. Who can knock off Discord? They're quite out front at the moment. They're really, really, really out front at the moment, and they are absolutely killing it. 42 points is just cleaning up. Who can match them? Can Legion cause an upset? Can North chime in with an upset? PL National, Germany, or maybe the new super team, the New Order, who have got some pretty high value recruits over the last week or two. They are going to try and challenge for the title. Can they win? It's going to be close. It'd be great to see if they get a matchup too, one-on-one. That'd be a great match to watch. And look out for our team, AUSNZ, as well. We will be, we'll have a quite surprise. We'll be a bit of a surprise package next month, guys. So keep an eye out for us. We're hoping to do really well, and got a couple of really good recruits ourselves. So that's the news. Pete, you're up, mate. Let's get into your segment, and let's get into the public events we've had in the last couple of weeks. Specifically, this one I'm really loving.
Yeah. So my little intro, because you struggled saying it last time. Pete's public events.
Pete's Power Public Events. Got to do a triple Pete.
All right. So first of all, I want to say, how good is a public event flash mob on Friday night? How good is that? Our flash mobs, we all join at the same time. A few people join on the voice chat. We just chat with each other, have a laugh, play some public event. It's great fun. And the fact that it's the famous Halloween season this week and last week too makes it even better. I love the Halloween ones. Usually they go into the public event with the team event the following event. So it's good to get a little practice run in. So unfortunately, that's not the case this week. Strategies for Pumpkin Smash. It's great playing around with the fixed vehicles and the fixed tuning. I actually quite enjoyed that. It was nice, even playing field. So it was all skill based. It didn't matter if you had like a 500 GP or a maxed out GP. Everyone was the same. And I thought that was great. The zombies this week is quite fun. I don't know about you, but it really gets my blood pumping when they start chasing you.
How good is it when you know you're in front and all of a sudden they just enter the screen? And it's like, oh bloody hell, gotta move on, gotta move on, and then you stuff up and they catch you and you're gone.
Or how long they hang on for while you're going full noise.
Tell you what, geez, they hang on for dear life, don't they? They don't let go.
I don't like zombies scare me.
Zombies scare you.
Mate bot, bro. Oh Jesus, they zombies scared our mate bot, bro. I can't believe that. Jeez, what's going on there?
Bots can be scared. That's a new development.
I myself as a bot. I make money, so I am the all-consuming, all-powerful mate robot. I can't even say my name. It's that powerful.
Oh, so scared.
Well, mate bot, bro. Thank you for chiming in there. I really appreciate your valuable comments to this podcast. It's really, really reassuring, and we appreciate it. Not.
I was about to say your attitude changed, GDR.
Oh, mate. MateBot Bro has been at our community for a long time, causing all sorts of problems and chiming in when he feels like it, you know. And he just happens to just pop up on this podcast and do what he bloody well pleases. It's not very acceptable. I don't agree with it, but I got to put up with it because he's sneaking around.
Because he is who he is, and
doing his
you
thing.
can't do anything about it.
He's all powerful.
That's right.
Carrying on, I do have to say, early on in the zombie chase, there was a bit of a bug. Some players had a flat map instead of having the hills, so they got to travel a lot further than everybody else.
That caused some issues in the Fair Play server because people were coming in and saying that's cheating, it's hacking, it's cheating. No.
Yeah, it wasn't a cheat, it was a bug, and it got fixed pretty quickly, but it was there, and I just felt I had to announce it. So yeah, it wasn't a cheat, it was a bug, and yeah, unfortunately.
And not to mention, it got repeated continuously on the Facebook groups as well. People were going, but he's cheating, this person's cheating, blah, blah, blah. Not cheating. It was a bug, ladies and gentlemen. A bug that has now been fixed.
All right, for this next section, I'm going to bring in my friend Alpha, and we're going to talk strategies. Alpha, what is your strategy for this zombie run on the public event?
Well, so my strategy's a bit interesting. I tend to use Hot Rod to start with to get through the first few safe houses quickly, and then rally for the climbing distance option at the end.
Yes.
It's a safe strategy for 9 to 10 points each time.
So what parts do you use on the rally, mate?
Rally, I tend to use tyres, wings, and coin, but sometimes I'll switch to landing boost.
Those parts are pretty good to use. You can also use the fuel at the end as well, to especially if it's up one of those hills that you can get some good grip on with the tires. You can shoot up a few meters with that as well.
Good choice.
Absolutely. I think that's a great strategy. And I'm sure you're not the only person who does it.
I think that's what most people are really doing, is they're starting off with the Hot Rod, because the Hot Rod is, gets over the hills quite quickly, and then they swap over to the rally. It's a good strategy, absolutely.
It does have quite a powerful burst when you explode the engine and get you up over those hills.
The best thing about that is that once you've gone into the next house, even though you've exploded your engine twice, you've got a refreshed engine when you start again.
Yep, that's right. So that concludes the Pete's Power public events.
Pete's Powered Public Events. Oh god, I love that name. That name's gonna stick. We're sticking with Pete's Powered Public Events.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful name.
That's too much P for me.
Our next segment, guys. I want to bring in Eva here. We at AUSNZ run our own dailies competition. Eva's going to explain everything. Eva, welcome, and let's get the AUSNZ daily segment underway.
Oh, thank you. We have a separate server for the daily competition. A daily competition is This season has been a very interesting one because we've done it over 31 days.
Yeah, it's gone for a whole month, hasn't it? So
It's gone for a whole month, and because
it's the
there's
longest gone, yeah,
there's now 23 cars, not 22, but so
correct.
we've used some of the cars more than once, which has been pretty cool. We missed the EV because it dropped just after we'd gone past the space that it filled in.
Yep.
So it was a bit unfortunate, or fortunate for some.
Not a bad
because,
thing.
Not a bad thing because not everybody
Not a
was going to go out and buy it straight away.
Plus, you've got to make the most of the freebies.
Yeah, you got to make most of the freebies, and I honestly think that the EV is going to be an interesting car for dailies because it's got some abilities that I think are starting to come out as we play with it more and more. So I think it's got a bit of potential to be fast, but it'll suit some tracks better than others. So
Just like the rotator in many ways.
yeah, exactly. Like we all laughed and joked about calling it banana and everything else, and then all of a sudden people start going really fast with it, and everybody's going, "Ooh, the banana does go fast." So, what exactly is this daily? You know, why do we call it dailies? What is it? Why do we do it? All that sort of stuff. Well, in short, we use the daily race, which is part of the events tab on the HCR2 game platform, right? The daily server asks you to register. You add a few of the key players to your friends list, and there are links in the server to do this. It allows you to run your time. The people that are in the server can see your time, confirm that you've actually done the time that you've entered, and can confirm that you're legitimately doing the event. Because you only get the day, the 24-hour period to do that daily track in the daily car, and the daily car changes every day. It's basically listed out in the daily server what car is the car of the day. We have run daily events, short ones with no parts, but it's basically open. You drive the car, you use any parts you like, and it's just a rolling list of cars. So today you use motorbike, tomorrow you use the one after the motorbike, the one after that, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. Just going on the you just mentioned there about the where we have a no parts competition. You'd be surprised. That is actually a very good competition to be a part of because it really evens up the playing field from the top players all the way right down to the last guys down the bottom, because everybody's using the same vehicle, everybody's using the same tunes, but it really depends on whether their tunes are maxed or not. But it really depends on the line that you're using as well. It's a very good competition. I highly recommend people to take part if they want to join our server, and we'll give you the details.
I have an interesting fact about the daily competition.
What's that, Baitbot Bro?
That the HCR bot, daily bot, is actually my cousin.
He's your cousin. Oh.
He's very busy, and he introduced some. He helps the people run.
Fascinating.
An older cousin or a younger cousin?
He's older.
Older. Excellent. Now get back to your corner.
Yeah. get out of here, mate, Brobot. Jesus, bloody hell.
So the downside to using those cars in that order is sometimes you might do a track with, let's face it, the mono, and it might be one of the long ones. So you do 1,000 face plants over a 24-hour period trying to get the mono to go as fast as possible. So why would you want to do all this? Why would you want to play this game in that way? And I have 3 or 4 little reasons why I do it. And I mean, it doesn't mean you need to do it, but this is why I do it. I think the competition is fun. It's really cool to go up against someone who's on your team or someone who's from another place, other side of the world, etc. I think competition makes you better. It makes you learn the tracks. It makes you understand which parts work together, and seeing how those parts interact is really cool. And it gets you a really, really good understanding of the tracks and the cars. The third reason I do it is you see the lines that people use that are different to what you would do. Because most of the time you only ever see 1 or 2 hills at a time across the entire track. So you can't see what goes up, where it comes down, where you take off, where you land. You might be using one line and someone else might be using something else that's so much faster because you miss 2 or 3 dips, or you land in one dip to get you skyrocketing out the other. So it's good to learn the tracks that way, because you see a whole complement of different lines. And let's face it, not the fastest. Across a few of the dailies that I've been participating in this month, there are people that are 0.2, 0.3 seconds apart that are using completely different parts.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's unbelievable, mate. Just check the Discord channel there in our general channel, mate. I've just put a little bit of stats there for you if you want to read that out on air.
At the moment, currently, Boulder is leading with 2,586 points across 30 days. There's only one more round to go, which is today's. So I think Boulder's probably comfortably going to win this. But separating the top 5 is about 200 points. Now, there's 100 points per day across the entire game.
The 100 points is awarded to the winner. Is that right?
To the winner, to the fastest time for the day gets 100 points. So Boulder at 25.86. I don't do maths that well. Mate Brobot might be able to, but nah, he'll just chime in with something stupid. But that's a very, very, very good run by Boulder. And I mean, Maury's up there, Mutiny Nakin's up there, Kodak's up there.
Yourself as well, mate.
There's a guy called Eva who's in 5th place.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. And then there's people like Fluffy, Poss, Marine Mike, LTR, HWA from Oz LTR. It's a real mix of really cool people. And like I said, just watching people's different lines, watching different people's parts has just been amazing. And this month has been a real long, hard slog, but it's been worth every single day. So really, we want to see more people go and join. It'd be good to have 50, 60 people in there. It's really cool. I mean, I've beaten some people by 0.0001. Yes, you can't see that on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But someone has beaten me by just enough that he is above me with exactly the same time. So it is a really, really cool event. It's a really, really cool bunch of people doing it. So come along. There'll be a link.
It's run by great organisations. So it's run by us, and we've got our officials who do everything right down to in the millisecond and do a great job running it as well. And you're an official as well, Ed.
I am an official. I haven't done anything this month. I've been a lazy guy.
lazy admin.
You saved yourself.
I saved myself. So yeah, I've been a bit lazy this month, but next month I'm going to take a bit of a break and going to be running my alt instead of my main. I'm just going to be doing it for a bit of fun. So
yeah,
look forward to seeing some more people.
So what you're saying is it's a good time for me to start doing them again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, in all seriousness, guys, if you guys want to join the AUSNZ Dailies competition, you can join our Discord server, and then we can give you the link to join the Dailies server. If you want to get the server details in the meantime, maybe you can go ahead and do that and plug it on air. But I think we should be moving on, guys. You reckon we should get our guest in for tonight?
Maybe.
I think we should.
Well, we should ping him first, just in case he's gone somewhere and we've lost him. But we'll unmute him, we'll introduce him, we'll bring him in, and go from there. All right.
Good evening.
Welcome, Bob, to the AUSNZ Community Podcast. AUSNZ Nubs is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Our former leader, our Spanish model, our graceful gentleman of the night. Welcome, sir. It is great to have you.
Thank you very much, GTR. Can I take this opportunity to thank you all for all your hard work in making this podcast? You've done a great job.
Could I have a cup of tea?
Thank you so much for coming.
A cup of tea.
I think you need some scones with that cup of tea, don't you? Or is it scones?
I'm just having a cup of tea. Quiet cup of tea by myself.
What sort of tea?
I like an English breakfast tea.
With lemon or with milk?
Milk, touch of milk, and then probably an Earl Grey tea. Or early grey, as I like to call it, afterwards. Yeah.
You sound funny.
So did you.
You can't talk, mate, bro.
Sorry about that, Bob. That's our mate Brobot just chiming in there whenever he feels like it.
I'm a big fan of Brobot. He's we go way back.
Absolutely. Bob, do you just want to tell our viewers, just give us a bit of a rough history and just of your you just with AUSNZ and where you come from and where you are now, mate. Just want to give you a bit rough history there.
So yeah, maybe I'll talk about my name first because it causes a lot of confusion.
Please do so, dears. Let's clear that up for the general public now. That'd be great.
So currently,
Especially for me.
currently I'm known as Nubs.
I call you noobs or noobs, which is like a
Nubus.
It's similar to the word that starts with B, but I just call it noobs or I don't want to say the B word.
It's definitely Nubs, and the kids, the younger members of the server who haven't known me maybe for the last couple of years, they've derived that from my from the name which I tried to put up, which was Anubis, or Anubis, as I like to put it, which was a derivation of my old name, which was Bongus Bobbus.
That's correct. I forgot about Bongus Bogus. That's that was your old name. Yeah, exactly.
So that came from. I used to play in a band in my 20s, and I was the bongo player, so I was called Bongo Bob. But when I went to get an email address, Bongo Bob, it had already gone, so I went with Bongus Bobbus, and that's how it all started.
Fantastic.
And that's why I
fascinating.
Fascinating, Bob.
Fascinating stuff.
So yeah, I do like to be called Bob, but I love the new name Nubs. I think it's great.
Can I ask? That's where it comes from. Bob come from playing bongos. So that's where it all come from. So your actual name is not Bob.
No, I'm called Rich.
You are rich too. You are in rich company. Yes. That's awesome, mate. Yeah. So your name is Rich, but so ladies and gentlemen, it's not Bob, it's Rich.
But please don't call me that name. You're not my mother, not my father.
Mr. Anubis to everybody else.
Go for a couple of questions, guys, if you want to go for it now.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you want to start us off, GTR?
Yeah, alrighty. Let's get some questions in for the one and only Bob. How did all right? This question comes from AUSNZ Maury. Did we talk about T? Or we were talking about that, have we?
T's been checked.
T's been checked. We'll move on. All right. This question comes from AUSNZ Goose, one of our favourite sons in our server. Goose says, if you had to go back to your homeland, would you still race for AUSNZ? Interesting question. Thanks, Goose.
Well, who's the current top British team that's in the CC?
I thought Legion was kind of British.
Well, they absorbed Zigzag, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They did. Yeah.
I think the current top British team at the moment is Dirty Talk.
Dirty Talk. Yeah, that sounds very familiar. Thanks, Alpha. I think Alpha's right there.
Yeah, they're currently 55th.
Ooh, gonna be a tight end to the season. Hey, it's finishing in a couple of hours. Who are they playing? Do we know? Anyway, go on, Alpha. Do you know?
No, I don't.
No. All right. Well, good luck to them. Yeah. No. I'm AUSNZ 100%. Goose is just playing around.
Yeah, fair enough.
Postman humour.
How long have you been out here, mate? How long have you been in Australia?
Since 2011. And when I go back home, people say, "Oh, you sound Australian." But when I'm in Australia, everyone says I sound like I'm drinking a cup of tea. So I can't win.
And you grew up did you grow up in the London region or elsewhere in the UK?
Just outside that Heathrow airport place. Used to have planes dumping their fuel in my back garden. Fantastic.
Is that why you're such a car nut?
A car nut?
Yeah, well, you play HCR2.
Oh yeah, that makes me a car nut. Yeah, sorry, I'm a redhead, but only in 2 dimensions.
Only in 2 dimensions, going right.
That's right.
You could almost be one of those people in NASCAR world, but they go left.
Oh god, NASCAR. Oh. I do enjoy it for about 5 minutes. And I did like that NASCAR game that used to be in arcades. I don't know if they still exist, arcades.
Yeah, they still exist.
Yeah? Well, the NASCAR game, that was quite cool.
Daytona, USA.
Yeah, going around in circles.
Warrior has a question from our server. G'day, Warrior, if you're listening. What would you rather be, the owner of Fingersoft, or be the player with everything in the game? I suppose he's meaning that you'd have every single part and you'd have a maxed account.
Oh man, we'd all love to be the owner of Fingersoft so we could fix leagues, right?
You're the owner of Fingersoft. I dare say you'd have some real coin behind you, wouldn't you?
Oh, I think I'd love to be the owner of Fingersoft. We'd all love to be the owner of Fingersoft. We could fix all the little glitches in the game, couldn't we?
We can do a lot with that, absolutely. Pete, do you have a question for Bob?
Yes, this one is from Creepers, and it's for Bob. In your intro in our server, you said you played in a few rock bands. What was that like, and what bands were you part of, and what did you play?
Oh, good old Creeps. Creeps is one of my favourite people on the server. He's also a big fan of the Jokes PG Rated channel, which is one of my personal.
That is a great channel. That's one of my favourites too.
I dare say we all love that channel, don't we, ladies and gentlemen?
Good for dad jokes.
Yes. So the last band I was in, I was the lead singer and rhythm guitarist. Started with my mate Leo, who was the solo lead guitarist, and 2 other mates, bass and drums. Yeah, it was awesome. We played about 40 gigs in 4 years. There's a suburb in.
That's pretty good.
I was in Perth. So there's a suburb in Perth called Wembley, and we played in the pub there. So I got the shout out. Hello, Wembley.
You played at Wembley, the Wembley.
No,
Obviously not the Wembley. Come on.
the Wembley in Perth.
In Wembley in Perth, not the 90,000 seat stadium in the UK.
That's right. Yeah, got to play at Mojo's in Perth, which is a pretty famous gigging joint. That's where Tame Impala started, and a lot of other bands related with them. Yeah, we got around.
That's great.
There's someone else who asked about my favourite song, which does continually change.
That question's from Just Chill, by the way. Thanks for asking that, Just Chill. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a chat with the guys on the server the other day, and I realised that I wrote a song about holidaying in New Zealand. I thought that was an appropriate one to pick, and maybe we'll stick the link. It's available on Bandcamp, so you can just listen to it for free. Maybe we'll stick the link in.
We'll post the link in the YouTube channel.
We'll chuck it in the music channel.
Yeah.
So further from that, though, that's your favourite song. But what is your favourite song to play live?
There's another song about that same holiday. So that song that we just talked about was called Doubtful Sound. That was about my holiday in Doubtful Sound. But there was it was quite an eventful trip. So there's another song which I love to play live called Great White Telephone, which is about a night out. I was on my own night out in Queenstown.
There are no queens in Queenstown.
There may be, but not royal ones. Not royal ones. It's a great place to go out, and yeah. So, do you know what Great White Telephone is?
No.
To Huey on the Great White Telephone at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I just worked out what it is.
You'll have to explain that to our listeners, mate.
I think it's like driving the big white bus.
That's a new one for me. So if you go out and have a few beers and you have a great big night out and you have a great time, and then you get back home and you feel, oh, the room's spinning, and all of a sudden you run into the toilet and you get on the Great White Telephone and you speak to Huey.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I think the adults in this community podcast have had our fair share of Huey.
That's right.
Yep.
Something for Alpha to look forward to in the next couple of years.
In 15 years' time.
50. Come on.
I'd have to say I'd have to say Mate Brobot would have had his fair share of, Huey as well during all his years.
Unfortunately, I can't drink. I'm a bot.
This is true.
What the bot equivalent of drinking?
What's it megabytes?
Bitcoin mining.
I don't like coin mining.
Thanks for your charming comments.
Thanks for your input there.
We really appreciate it. Thank you. Alfie, you got a question for Bob?
Yes, I do. My question is from Cam. What was the most difficult challenge of leading AUSNZ?
Oh, thank you very much, Alpha. And a massive shout out to Cam, because Cam was the leader before me, and he effectively trained me up on the job. Because before I took over of the AUSNZ team, I had been the leader of the Australian team called Woke, and I got that gig because no one else wanted it. And the team was going to fall apart, so they gave it to me. Yeah, it was a great team of dads. We were all pretty much dads, spending their spare time driving, playing the game. Yeah, then the massive merge happened, and then Cam was the obvious leader that we all picked and voted for. And then all of a sudden he just got a promotion at work, and he said, "Guys, I can't do this anymore." I tried to push Dreddy into doing it, but he was like, everyone realised that the server would go up in flames. If he took over.
We love you, Dreddy. Don't worry, we love you, Dreads.
More about Dreddy later. And we tried to put LaPass up because LaPass is a fantastic racer and he was a great leader as well. Whereas I realised that I'm not a massive team event scorer, but I did love matching. The whole art of matching and trying to avoid the big fish and trying to trying to catch some smaller fish so you can survive and climb up the table. Yeah, that was all. We realised that was no bad thing. That there's quite a lot of other leaders in other big teams who not the best in team events, but they run a really good team. They're good leaders. So on that proviso, I was happy to give it a go. And Cam was helped me as much as he could.
Cam was a great guy, fantastic leader. So definitely a big shout out to him, mate.
But the toughest thing was making mistakes in public. You've gone from a team of bogans to running a team of bogans to running a team of souped up bogans. It's like massive guns. It's a team of guns, and just making mistakes all the time in public. It was so tough. And at one point, I lost the name. Do you remember that when I lost the name of the team?
Oh yeah, I remember that. To change it a little bit.
You didn't make that mistake again, did you? Had me when we changed it when we did the Anzac name change. I had you in that corner. I had you backed up. Then we didn't make that same mistake again.
Didn't make that again. I had to send Dreddy and Larry on a secret mission. They disguised themselves as like 15-year-old racers, noobs who were like who are these guys who put RS and PR after their name, and convinced the guy who nicked the name. He'd been very quick. He realised we'd changed the name. He changed the name to our team. They went in there and convinced him to change the name to PR Pro Team or something, be the official team of PR racers. And as soon as it changed, Dreddy says, "Change it, Bob!" I got the name back. But yeah.
Quick, Dreddy change it now.
Classic. Speaking of Dreddy, I've got a question from Dreddy. It says, "Why is Dreddy your favourite child?"
Yeah, and that links into another question from Maury as well, which is, what's the secret to putting up with and having any control of Dreddy?
Wise.
Dreddy is what, and that is the answer. Is when you're. I wanted to talk a little bit about leadership and the opportunity that being the leader of the AUSNZ 2D racing team gave me amazingly gave me the experience to sort of be a leader. Not in a, I don't own a business, or I'm not like I'm a high up manager at work or anything, but I really felt like I was getting some leadership experience running this team. And one thing you do when you're a leader is you got to be positive the whole time. You don't show any problems you have in public. And the person whose shoulder I cried on when we were losing or matching badly, or the guns were leaving to go to Discord, or they're going to go to Reddit, and everything's falling through. He was Dreddy. He was my man. He was like the guy, and he was always. And the thing about Dreddy is as well is that he when he swings, and when I'm talking about when if there's something going on that's bad, when he swings, he normally hits the nail 100% of the time on the head, and I could kind of trust his judgment. Whereas when I get angry or get upset about something that's gone wrong, or someone's left mid-match, or I generally kind of swing and miss. I accuse the wrong person, but Dreddy he's just amazing. He's got a real feel for people. He's a real people person, and I would many middle of the night chats to that guy. Can't wait to meet him for a beer one day.
Absolutely. He's a great guy.
But there is a negative side to Dreddy. We've mentioned he might blow up the server if we ever gave him the leadership role. But yeah, he had the absolute opposite view of matching to me, and the way to control him was just to take co-leader off him, and he wasn't happy when that happens.
Probably won't remind Dreddy about that, but he's probably I think you reminded him now.
But then Greenie, his brother-in-law.
I think it's his brother-in-law, yeah.
And that's really helped, because Greenie just says, just ignore him, Bob. He just thinks he's right about everything. So.
Greenie, what a champion bloke that guy is. We'll definitely get to Greenie later. Shout out to Greenie. We love you, Greenie. Hey, Eva, you got a question, mate, for Bob?
Yeah.
This is an odd one because I didn't know, but RF has asked you the question, what was it like to live in Spain? So obviously you've lived in Spain.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Is it insane?
It's, yeah, and in your brain. Yes, I lived in Spain. And I really like that question, because one other thing I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit on this podcast was about how amazing the server is, our AUSNZ server, and how it's brought so many different people together. And like we've got we had the people who were in charge of the third team was Australian Special Forces, a captain and a sergeant, and they were playing the game in between raids in Afghanistan. They would like go out and go on mission and then come back to their tent for like a day respite, and they'd play over a satellite phone. and then we've got iron workers. He's the guy who does all the forklifting of the massive steel beams, and then we've got postmen, and we've got cabinet makers, and we've got young people, old people. It's just a fabulous thing. And well, am I dithering here? I'm on point, because I want to talk about dreams, and following my dreams has got me to this amazing server. And one of the dreams I wanted to realize in my life was to go and meet my family in Spain and learn Spanish and speak to them. And I did that when I was 30, and I lived there for 3 years, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a time. Not everyone. I took time out from my career and everything. I stopped everything because it's always something I'd wanted to do. And I suppose if I wanted to say anything on this podcast of any note, it would be that, guys, if you've got any dreams, go and follow them. There you go.
Well said.
Great advice.
Here.
100%.
So I have a part question to that then. Do you have an English-Spanish accent?
No, I don't. Which is kind of my inheritance from my family. because I heard Spanish from when I was quite young, so I got some of the swear words down properly by age 10.
They're always the first ones you learn.
That's right. But then what normally happens is English people go to a Spanish school when they go to Spain, where they meet lots of other English people. And so it kind of gets into their accent that they learn in English and Spanish. But I hung out with my family down the pub. So I swear like a trooper and a sailor rolled into one, and I know all these horrible things that you can say in Spanish. And then I was playing football as well with all these. I was working in some schools for a year, and I was hanging out with the Spanish school teachers and playing football with them, and they swear like, oh.
Is that football or soccer?
Oh, sorry, we're in Australia. Soccer.
No, it is football. What's this soccer business? I'll stand up for the football.
The spherical ball.
It's soccer, yeah.
Not the.
It's called AFL, isn't it?
Not the lemon-shaped ball.
It's not the lemon.
Australian football.
But I do love AFL. I wish I could have played it. I'm a Dockers fan, but when we moved to Melbourne, the day we moved, our son was born about the same time as Richmond won the flag for the first time.
Wow.
So we're Richmond fans as well.
Well, there you go. A lot of Tiger fans out there at the moment. Pete, I think it's your turn, mate. Did you have a question for Bob?
Yeah, a couple more questions. So this one's from AUSNZ Amy. If you had the ability to make changes to leagues, what would you change and why?
Amy, massive shout to Amy in her exams at the moment. One of our top racers. Yeah, we loved this question when we saw it, didn't we? It's Look, we all have our view. There's been thousands of views put on the Fair Play server. My personal view is, how hard is it to give the teams a ranking? Fingersoft have access to the data of all the scores of all the teams. If you took the top 10 scores from a match, team event match, you took the average score of those top 10 races, you'd get a fair ranking of all the teams, wouldn't you, at the end of the match? So top 10 races in Reddit or top 10 races in Discord will obviously have one of the best averages, and the top 10 races in AUSNZ will probably be about 30th in the world. You could do that tonight. And then you can, you want the CC to have 100 teams, you do instant matching, and you say, right, each team plays 2 teams in the top 10, 2 teams in the top 20, 2 teams 10 to 20, 2 teams 20 to 30, 2 teams 40 to 50 throughout the whole month. There you go. There's all your matching done.
That's actually very interesting.
So,
that's
really instant matching, no more delays or anything like that. It just starts by itself.
But you've got the teams ranked. You know how strong all the teams are. You can work it out really easily, and you can refine it over the season, maybe, if you wanted to. You just automatically match. You have this schedule. You play, because there's 17 matches in a month. So 2 from top 10, 2 from 20 to 10 to 20, 2 from 20 to 30, whatever. Yeah, you could do it tonight, and it would solve problems. I will say that the introduction of CC has resolved a lot of. When Cam, I got brought on board to lead, Cam got me invited to the Fair Play server, and the place where everyone chatted at that point was on the top 50 channel. And when I got in there, I was like, what the hell is this? People were just losing their minds, accusing each other of cheating. It was horrible. It was really, really awful. And all of that with CC has gone away. It's people are just concentrating on racing, which is great. I think it's really, so that, CC comes in for a lot of criticism. I do think it's improved things a lot from that point of view.
Yeah, I agree. I think leagues has definitely helped out a lot because the top 100 can only face the top 100. So no more getting the little man.
Yeah, look, leagues is certainly a game changer, but hopefully in the next couple of updates, there needs to be a lot to. Hopefully, there's going to be some change. I'm really counting on it, and I'm hoping for some updates in regards to leagues, and hopefully get changed down the track. Alpha, you got a question for Bob?
Yes, I do. So my question's from Larrikin, and it is: who, what, and why are the driving forces behind AUSNZ, and how that system has helped the community be what it is today?
Thank you very much, Alpha. And
That's a small question.
it's a small question. Yeah, I've written out an answer to this, and I'm going to try and be brief and try and give a short answer, but a good answer to this. So, AUSNZ, we realised when we did the merge, we were never going to be a top 10 team. Players like Cheese, Cam, Zeke, they all been in top 10 teams for forever, and they knew how strong those teams were. And so what we set out to do when we did AUSNZ was just to have something we could be proud of for Australians and Kiwis, and we're just going to focus on our culture, resist merges, international merges, and just concentrate on us and our culture and just having a good time, and not try to be the top team in the world. That kind of culture has just thrived, and our server is just a fun place to be. And I don't know who came up with the structure of chiefs and leaders, but in our server we have these like 8 people who are the chiefs, who are like ancient Red Indian chieftains or something.
They basically they run the server. Yeah, I think Cam came up with that, didn't he? Cam may have done that.
I don't know who came. I was just suddenly, after the merge happened, I just suddenly had access to this channel called Chiefs, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I realised after a couple of weeks that only Chiefs could see it, and there was only 8 of us. And then after the first couple of months, we were just learning what all these different channels were. So whoever came up with the structure was a genius, because that Chiefs channel is awesome. And then below that you have leaders. So that's all the leaders of all the teams. And it was really a fantastic way to run the server. We did, there were like big problems which the Chiefs would talk about, come up with a solution, and then present it to the leaders. And then the leaders would sort it out, and then it would pass down. And now it's got to the point where we've promoted so many people to so many positions, I don't really have anything to do.
If it helps, I'll take credit for setting it all up.
Oh, Brobot. It was clearly all your plan. It's awesome. It's worked really, really well. Yeah, it's just and I think that leads on to like me passing over the leadership to Balder, is that I don't have much to do now, but I'm really grateful that I can pass on the opportunity to lead the team to someone else as awesome as Balder is, and that he can have the opportunity to enjoy it like I have and get all the positives out of it. And then there's other people who are coming up, growing through the community, who are going to get that chance in their lives too. And there are all these new leaders coming through, and I feel like I'm retired.
You're far from retired, mate.
I'm just working on my Canyoneer ranking.
You're far from retired. Look, just going on that, Bob, I just want to, on behalf of the community, on behalf of AUSNZ in general, mate, thanks so much for being the leader that we desired and that we got. It was
ever cheerful, ever enthusiastic.
We're ever indebted to your leadership, mate. It was just the way you run the team, the way you organise the community, announcements, and organisation, the time that you put in. We can't thank you enough, and you're just true inspiration, mate. So well
Yeah.
done.
Well,
Great
thank you
job.
very much. And I suppose that comes back nicely to trying to answer Larry's question about what makes the community so popular and good. Is we celebrate things like Anzac Day. We make a big fuss about when we have natural disasters, or when we had the earthquake a few weeks back, or when you had the storms this weekend. Everyone's reaching out saying, "Hey, you can ping everyone in your state." So if you write @Vic, everyone in Victoria gets pinged, and you say, "Hey, who's in the blackout?" Or,
Yeah, is everybody okay? And you just check in on people.
yeah, it's amazing, and there's just yeah. I hope I've done justice to Larry's good question. Thanks for asking the question, Alpha.
And just leading on from that, being stuck in home for the 250 plus days in Victoria and lockdown on my own, the Discord server has been a really amazing way to still have some sort of human contact. So I really believe what you've just said is nailed it on the head again.
Exactly. That's the other thing that I've missed. So thank you very much. What have we been doing during lockdown? We've been coming to this server. And,
yep. I know I have.
It's been awesome.
So have I. Yep, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always there.
Hey.
Yeah, you just don't go away though, mate, Brobot.
Exactly. You just took the words right out of my mouth there, Eva. He just doesn't go away.
Brobot.
He's your brother from another mother, huh?
That wasn't quite the way I was going to put it, but yeah.
He's your mate. Definitely your mate.
He's our mate.
Bob, do you want to tell the viewers of our next guest that is coming up next week, and you want to give him a good shout out, and then after that we'll give some clues on our guest after that episode. All
right, so I'm doing the reveal. I get the job to do the reveal.
Yes,
absolutely.
All right. Well, I've known this guy for a couple of years now. He's an awesome guy. He works in real life, IRL. He works with disadvantaged kids. He was on a documentary on Channel 10 a couple of months ago, helping kids through a BMX design build program. So he's not only just an awesome HCR2 time trial racer, team event racer, canyoneer, and whatnot. He's also a fantastic leader in real life as well. So the one and only BALDR. How do you say it? It's only got one vowel.
Older.
Boulder.
We have to say it like a Queenslander. That's Boulder.
Boulder. Our current leader of our CC team, Boulder, will be joining us in 2 weeks' time. Amazing.
Look forward to that. Really look forward to that. He's a real daily racer. He's a really good daily racer. Very good. Gives out tips occasionally when you ask him politely and nicely.
And he's not losing by too much.
No, not even then. So yeah, over the years, it's been awesome to be racing against him, and it sounds like we're going to have a bit of fun with him next 2 weeks' time.
He's I'm going to put it out there. He's the AUSNZ version of Linus. He's pretty much our Linus, isn't he?
Yep.
Like, hey, team event, amazing team event. Like he's always in the top 5, top 10 in team events. Like as you said, Eva, his daily time trial is just
blistering.
Yeah.
You won't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
sure we could talk about how to switch off Mate Brobot.
Well, we're gonna have to. We'll have to get Mate Brobot's cousin from the Daily Server to help us with that one. Yeah. Now, just before we wrap things up, Bob, mate, is there any last comments, shout outs, and thank yous that you want to give to anybody in particular or anyone in the server?
Yeah, because I had 2 weeks to think about all this, I did have I have had ideas every other day, and the main shout out I wanted to do was to the core racers in the AUSNZ CC team who day in day out have raced for the last 2 years without complaining. So when you're managing some top racers, they want to go to. It can be a bit of drama. They want to go to a top team, or they get a bit bored, or there are some racers who have just raced and been at the top of the team, and they've barely said a word, apart from "Yeah, this is awesome." So racers like BG, Will, oh man, these guys,
La Paz.
Yep. He had a bit of a break, but
He did.
we'll just ignore that.
Don't forget Amy.
Amy again, she has a bit of a break, but no, you're right.
Special shout out to Amy. I've got to say, sorry to cut you off, Bob, but Amy, in my opinion, is up there, probably world's best female. I don't want to bring gender into it, but the world's best female player in the world, I'd have to say.
She's awesome. She's awesome, but
she is incredible.
What I want to say, I don't want to. The younger racers, we have to respect when they want to go studying and they've got more important things to do in their lives than race day in day out, in the AUSNZ team. So yeah, absolutely, Amy's been awesome. Creeps, and the new ones coming through like Alpha, fantastic. So yeah, just a big shout out to the workhorses of the AUSNZ team. You've done us proud.
And not just that, also the other teams in AUSNZ as well who proudly represent us on the international stages. Team 2 and Team 3, of course our LTR team and our other teams as well.
Yeah, all awesome. Good on you. The core of those teams, thank you. It's been a fantastic ride.
Beautifully said, mate. No, look, it's been amazing having you on. Sorry, it's been amazing having you on the podcast today, Bob. It was always going to be yourself after the one and only Maury to come on the second episode, and couldn't have been happier, mate, to have you on today.
Thank you very much again to all of you, even Brobot, and
Pete, Eva, Alpha, mate, guys, any last words for Bob before we wrap it up?
Mate, I've had the pleasure of meeting you face to face, and it was amazing. Great to meet you in person. Great. It's
an amazing face, isn't it?
It is an amazing face. Great to meet
you. You guys have amazing faces too.
And look forward to many more team events.
And thank you very much again, Eva, because let's put a big shout out to the next Victoria beer down the pub. Because that's what we'll do.
Sounds like a good idea.
Looking forward to that.
Hopefully, we'll squeeze it in before Christmas.
Excellent.
Hopefully.
Just before we wrap it up, guys, I just want to do a special mention to Stal and Loco on recently departing AUSNZ. They were loyal members of the team, and they will be missed. Both of them. I think Loco's on a bit of a break. He may be back. Same with Stal. I'm not so sure what he's, but Stal was an incredible player, and it still is an incredible player.
You can't. The stallion rides.
He rides.
Loco will be back, I reckon. We don't know if we've seen the last Stal. Don't know if we've seen the last.
I'll reach out to him. He's a mate from way back in the cast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, have a chat with him, Eva.
Yeah, I'm heading to Adelaide in November to see Dad, and I've said I'm going to catch up with him for a drink, him and a couple of friends as well. So I'll give him a bit when I'm there.
Good on you. All right.
All right. Thanks, lads, for coming on today, and thanks again, Bob, to coming on as our special guest for this episode. Wrap things up. Probably leave you with a little teaser for our fourth episode, which is coming up in a month, because we're doing this fortnightly. Our next episode will be Boulder coming in, but after that, well, we have a few surprise we have a surprise guest coming on for that show. He's famous. You know him. We know him. That's all I've got to say about that. So, I'll leave you to it. Pete, Eva, Alpha, it's been a pleasure again, guys.
Likewise. Have a good night, everyone.
Likewise. It's been great.
Okay. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you in 2 weeks with Boulder, our special guest for our 3rd episode. Thanks again, everybody, for coming in. Thanks to everyone for listening in as well. And it's been greatly appreciated that you guys listen in on our podcast. Again, if you want to join our server, join our AUSNZ server. We give you a shout out. You can join in with the questions and answering the questions to everybody. So just for the Discord, guys, join anytime. Everybody's welcome. And we'll go from there. Thanks again for joining, and thanks again for listening. Bye-bye.